morning, and welcome to Grant's Sound Advice. What Grant's Sound Advice? Grant's Sound Advice. Grant's Sound Advice. Yeah, those are multiple takes, something we do in voiceover. I'm not sure those were all good, but you do what you think of doing when the camera starts. And that's what you got this morning. Tip of the Grant's Sound Advice coffee cup to you this morning, and welcome. It's Tuesday, October 26th. Again, we are rolling right through the month, as I already stated yesterday. Goodness sakes, it seems like it goes quick. Anyhow, I already said all that yesterday. You don't need to hear it again. This is episode. This is episode 17 of How to Get Started in Voiceover. And it struck me this morning that I've talked about everything, and I kind of touched on this, but not as maybe hard as I should have. And again, this is general business stuff, so this is not overwhelming. I spent 10 years in the restaurant industry, and I am somewhat a restaurant snob because I know what it takes. I can tell when the food lands on my table, how long it's been sitting, how many times the bun was cooked, or if it's going to be cold, or yeah, and I'll admit I may or may not be fun to have restaurant experience with, especially if it's bad. But it it really bugs me. Why? What is the point of a restaurant? Point of a restaurant, I've told people this story for years. It's hot food hot, cold food cold, in a reasonably accommodating atmosphere. Now, I know that is incredibly simplified, but isn't that what it is? And when you go to a restaurant, isn't that what you want? You want your hot food hot, you want your cold food cold, and you want a decent atmosphere. You want a decent experience. Think about this. When you choose a restaurant, you're usually choosing it because you're going to have a great experience. You either really, really love the food, you really, really love the atmosphere, or you really love that certain server that you've had the last 8 times and you just can't wait to have them serve you again because they're fun or whatever. It's about an experience. It's not about the food. It can be about the food, but it's about the experience, because later in life, if you and I have gone out on a date, say, it's going to be about, oh, remember that time we went to that restaurant and we had such a great time, and the food. Yeah, it's about the experience. How does this relate to voiceover? Stop and think this morning about how you interact with people in general. How quickly do you get angry? How quickly do you fly off the handle? How quickly do you get frustrated? How good are you at putting systems together? How good are you at managing those systems? Do you respond to emails quickly? Are you a person that lets your emails sit around for hours before you answer them? Are you not real responsive on things? These are all things that can be telling on how you're going to run any business. If people frustrate you already, you may not want to start your own business. It's not going to get better. I'm dealing with an offshore client this morning that it takes 8 questions to get the answer I'm looking for. Is it red or blue? Thursday. Is it red or blue? Just like the last time. Is it red or blue? Well, the first time, it's not like the second time. It's like the third file we did for you. Is it red or blue? It's not a tough question. Just say red. Just say blue. So managing my emotions at this point, because this has already happened for one response stream with them before, and I'm ready to pull my hair out. And of course, there is the thing about firing customers. And I actually think I did a video about firing this customer a week or 2 ago on another project, but that's a whole different story. Anyhow. So as you start in voiceover, think about these things, because we have to be responsive. If somebody sends us a file and says, can you record this morning? You can't wait till 11:30 to respond. Somebody else has probably already recorded that file for them that they know is their backup, and they're going to have the file. I've got, I think, 8 projects in my queue this morning alone for stuff I've got to do today. And I've responded to all those people. It's the first thing I do when I walk in the office. I walk in the studio, and I answer all of my messages from the night before. Yes, I'll be on this. Did you need this? Red or blue? Did you whatever, whatever, whatever? So think about how you're going to respond. Do you have the ability to respond that way? If you have a dog and kids and you're trying to do this part time, is all that going to get in the way? Um, just think about everything because you need to be responsive in this business. You need to serve your hot food hot. You need to serve your cold food cold, and you need to do it in a reasonably accommodating way. Funny how that works here, right? Anyhow, if you ever really want to hear about my restaurant experiences, call me sometime and I'll bore you to death with why restaurants shouldn't be in business because they usually don't get what they are doing. Anyhow, they've not trained well. That's a whole different thing. Anyhow, I'm going to stop here, but it is Tuesday, October 26th. Hopefully, this has helped you a little bit on Tech Tuesday. And for 16 weeks now, this is week 17, I have been doing things about getting started in voiceover. And again, this morning was also about just general business stuff. So like and subscribe the channel if you would. Help me out with a share. Love it. Thank you so much for helping me build my business. Talk to you tomorrow.